Good afternoon. My name is Sal McKeel. I'm a graduate student with the University of Texas Nursing School. And today I would like to discuss a book review. And the book title is Leadership in the Era of Economic Uncertainty. The author is Dr. Ram Charan. The book was released in 2008. And the author has a wealth of experience. He graduated with his bachelor's degree in engineering from University of India, and later on obtained his MBA and doctorate in business administration. He had worked in Australia as an engineer, also worked as professor at Northwestern University and University of Chicago. He's an author, speaker, consultant, and an educator. The purpose of this book, the book was written during the financial crisis in 2008, and the book talked about the challenges that big companies such as Xerox, Verizon, GE experienced during financial downfall in 2008, how the company can make strategic changes, structural changes, financial operational changes, and how to gather all the information to make prudent decisions. This book was written for mostly senior leadership, such as executive level board members, company board members, CFO, CEO, COO, human resources director, or vice president, public relations. Strength and focus of this book. This book discusses how you can manage your asset and company resources and reduce expenses and manpower. Maintain cash flow, that's discussed in almost all the chapters in this book. Managing people techniques, how do you work with mid-level managers and staff by increased communications and weekly meetings, and how you maintain the company's goals. And he talked about mostly that you need to set short-term goals rather than long-term goals during this difficult time. He also discussed leadership personality, presentation, leadership traits, how well you present yourself, and communicate with members of the management team and the staff. I think the weakness of this book, because the book is primarily focusing on the senior leadership level, top level as executive vice president, COO, CFO, which isn't really pertain to my level of training and education and experience, because I'm a director of nursing operations, so a lot of these responsibilities will not be visible at my level. He also discussed workforce reduction, which I think in many ways you have to spend a lot of money at a time to reduce workforce because of benefits and payoff at the time. But he didn't discuss the method of how you're supposed to do that. He also discussed a quick change at the senior leadership level, CFO and COO, quickly either terminate them and replace them with someone more effective quickly, immediately after the companies get in trouble. The other impractical thing that he discussed also is that the member of company boards should meet and discuss issues with mid-level managers. I found this to be impractical because at my level as a director, I've never had a chance to discuss issues on a daily or weekly basis with our board members. The other thing that he discussed also is that CFO becomes the voice of the company. So CEO has to step back because of the financial management aspects of the companies. CFO is now calling the shot. The objective of this book, I think, mainly talking about financial responsibility of leadership, senior leadership levels. So I found it's kind of difficult because it didn't meet my expectation at my management level. It's also some of the solution that he suggested to me was impractical. Managing cash flow. I don't think that at my level as a director I have any ability to manage a cash flow of assets. I can limit expenses and so on, but I think it's difficult to manage other things. I don't have ability to sell off our assets in the hospital to earn more money. This book is highly recommended by the New York Times and Times magazines for CEO, COO, and CFO. Book also recommended for board members of very large corporations such as GE, Verizon, Boeing, and many other big companies. Certainly is not recommended for healthcare system. Book fairly important to mention that it's not appropriate for CNO, CNE, or directors level. Certainly not beneficial for me. In conclusion, I think this is a good book if you are at the top level of big corporation management, but otherwise for directors and CNO or managers, this book is not very helpful. Thank you.